We're unbeaten so far. Long may that continue. Hello there everyone, it is TIJ and welcome to the second episode of our second season at Liverpool in conquering the Euro on Football Manager 2019. Today we have got two very important games. Our first clash in the Champions League against Red Bull Leipzig, or Rasenball Sport Leipzig as they reckon they're called. And then a massive game against Premier League holders Manchester City in the, I was going to say the Barclays Premier League, but no, just the Premier League. As you can see, so far we've got our top two goal scorers, Roberto Firmino and Mario Balotelli. He scored the equaliser against Chelsea, if you remember last episode, but he's scored 2 goals since, I'll be showing you that in a little while. But in terms of average rating, Alexander Arnold's been doing very well. Oxlade-Chamberlain's had the most assists, and we've had 1 red card courtesy of Joe Gomez. But as I said, we are unbeaten. We've only played 3 games since I've last been with you. Of course, those 2 draws against Chelsea and Wolves. We beat Bournemouth. It was quite a lucky win, actually. Funnily enough, they're playing at the Medeski Stadium in Reading because their stadium's been renovated. So they've gone over to Reading to play their football there for a few years. But it was a very close game. We had a lot of opportunities, but not until the penalty was given did we have our real clear-cut chance. We look at the analysis in terms of the stats. Okay, fair enough, we had a lot of shots, but our possession was a lot less than Bournemouth. I actually quite like this player rating screen. It looks quite nice. But as you can see, all our stats were pretty good. But until we got the penalty, we didn't really have a clear-cut chance. But Balotelli got the 1 clear-cut chance. There was a foul against him, which was the penalty. And he got the goal to wrap it up and make our first 3 points of the season. Then we played against Stoke back at Anfield, our second game back at Anfield, and won that one quite easily. Shaqiri got his first goal of the season back against his old muckers, his old team, and managed to actually get man of the match. Fair play to him. And then Balotelli and Wijnaldum both got goals as well, but Fabinho did miss a penalty. But as you can see, apart from Fabinho, who played quite badly, we gave a few opportunities to Grujic, who played really well, Toure and Mir as well. But Sturridge didn't have his best game, and Balotelli came on late and again scored another goal. And that's where his 3 goals have come from so far. Then most recently we've gone to Cardiff, and actually 53 minutes in, Cardiff actually took the lead, unbelievably, courtesy of Greg Cunningham. But Serge Gnabry, in his debut for the club, it took him a while to get into match fitness, but in his debut for the club he scored his first goal 63 minutes in. And then Firmino added that one up with 2 goals in the 66th and 90th minute, sorry. And the 2 wing blacks played very well, Alexander Arnold and Moreno. But Gnabry and Kate actually had a good game. And Fabinho had a very good game as well. But as you can see, as you probably notice, even though we're playing an attacking tactic, we don't have the most possession, which perhaps makes us a bit open, but not bad. You know, if we get in the wins and we're getting the points, that is more than happy. I'm more than happy with that. But as you can see, our Champions League group's been drawn since you've been away, and it's a very tough one once again. We've got Paris Saint-Germain, the French champions, I'm presuming. They won the league again last year, but they would have been first or second anyway. Let's have a look. I think they did win the league last year. Yeah, they won the league last year under Thomas Tuchel. And then we've also got Valencia in the league, who actually did very well in the La Liga last year. In the La Liga, that doesn't make too much sense. But they finished 4th, much like the season before. And then we've also got RB Leipzig in the Champions League, which of course we play today. For some reason their league history data is not available. But as you can see, if we go to the stages and back to last year, they finished 2nd last year, only with Bayern Munich ahead of them. I'm interested to see Augsburg in the competition. And of course, if you remember rightly, then Brighton in the competition as well. But for this first game of the Champions League away in Germany today, we have gone with this side. We've gone with Becker in goal, Alexander Arnold and Moreno as wing-backs, and then Mir and Van Dijk in the centre-back positions. That's purely because Joe Gomez is tired, and we've got another centre-back, Toure, but he's not registered for this competition due to a few technicalities. But Fabinho, Wijnaldum and Henderson make up the midfield, with Salah and Gnabry in the attacking midfield. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to put Shaqiri there because Gnabry's fairly tired, so we might as well just play Shaqiri. And we'll change you to an inside forward on attack and change you to a winger on support. And then we're going to go with Firmino up front. We're not going to quite play Balotelli in this game today as a starter. As I've said in the last episode, I think Balotelli's going to be more of an impact player. And that works for me. We can either rotate between Sturridge and Firmino as starting players, but Balotelli can also come in as that impact player at the end of the game. But they're playing a flat 4-4-2, which is interesting to see with Leon Bailey in that team. Apart from that, I think it's pretty much the same as last season. But Gustin and Gamera up front, that's quite a nasty one. But hopefully, we should be able to overcome Leipzig today. Obviously, they're at home, so that's not going to make it too easy for us. But if we just tell the team that we expect nothing but a win to get our Champions League underway, yeah, then I think it'd be good. Obviously, Naby Keita doesn't quite come back to Leipzig in the best of fashion because he doesn't start in today's game. Well, that could be a better one for us. He might just come under the pressure a little bit. So, it might be better that he doesn't start this game. But as you can see, there's our group and 2 other groups playing tonight, and it's very tricky groups. The second one possibly not as tricky, with Napoli, Marseille and Copenhagen, but in the Group C, Madrid, Munich, Milan and Salzburg. I mean, if you went back 10 years ago, you'd have 3 complete giants of the world and Salzburg. So that's an interesting one. But we've got an early corner, courtesy of Shaqiri. Fabinho puts it back out into the right to Shaqiri. Shaqiri back into the box for Henderson, back to Firmino, to Wijnaldum, to Salah, and that was very odd. Very nearly a goal. There's a few rebounds and deflections and touches there, but nothing quite paying off. Nearly 18 minutes in now. We've got a second corner. Puts it straight into Van Dijk, and nothing unfortunately comes off it. And now Leipzig have got a counter-attack. That was really number 9's fault. I think that must be Firmino. But luckily, Alberto Moreno can sort that one out. It's a rubbish pass though. I don't quite know where he was thinking of getting that one to. Perhaps Shaqiri was a little bit asleep. He'd found a little bit of space for Shaqiri, but not quite where the pass should have gone. But it's with Kevin Guerrero now for Leipzig. We see him a bit out of place, a bit disorganised, and Leon Bailey runs through. But luckily for us, it's quite a poor shot from the Leipzig right winger. But we're 20 minutes in. It's been quite a balanced start. As I can see, they've obviously had 1 chance, which they've missed. And we had 1 chance as well there. So it's going to be fairly balanced. But they've had a really bad ball there. And Salah has picked out the opportunity. And he's got past the keeper. And from that lovely tight angle, Mo Salah has given us the lead. And as you'll see here, it was a mistake by the Leipzig player. I'm not sure who it was. Let's have a look. It was Leon Bailey who very nearly got their goal. Past it. Sarachi couldn't really do too much with that. And it was lovely by Salah. Number 12 couldn't quite get to him. And to be fair, from that angle, would you back him to score? Well, I mean, I know it's Mo Salah, but would you back him to score? I wouldn't, because that is a beautiful goal at a very tricky angle, and that makes it 1-0 to the Liverpool. And that's a brilliant start for us, and it just relieves a little bit of the pressure. But Alexander-Arnold's got a free kick right on the edge of the box, and that makes it 2-0. A lovely free kick there from Alexander-Arnold. The goalkeeper, Peter Glatsky, did get a touch on that, but nonetheless, it went in the back of the net. And that's now 2 to the good for us. Let's have a look at this. So Alexander-Arnold, lovely free kick just over the wall. And just right in the back of the net, right in that corner. And that's a cracking start for us. Can we make it 3-0 possibly now? Wijnaldum to Fabinho. I always think that 2-0 is quite a pivotal and dangerous place. Because if they make it 2-1, then all of a sudden they're back in the game. But if we score, then it's not necessarily game over. But it's going to be tricky for them to get back into it. Which is exactly what's happened. Because Alexander-Arnold has put it into Roberto Firmino, who has put it in the back of the net and made it 3-0 to Liverpool. And I think now, to be honest, we're just going to go cautious and tell the players to tighten up a bit. Because we are 3-0 up. I'm not telling the players all backs to the wall, but just be a little bit more cautious, which is perfect, actually. I quite like that they've replaced the counter-attacking tactic with cautious, because I feel like that's the way to go. But elsewhere in our group at the Parc des Princes, Paris Saint-Germain have took the lead, courtesy of Wilfred Ndidi, who's obviously moved from Leicester against Valencia. But because of our superior goal difference, we are first in the group. And it'd be a brilliant thing to do if we could finish first in the group. But of course, it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. That's the group and this game. It's not over at the end of the day. I've seen teams come back from worse. I always remember that Arsenal-Newcastle game where Arsenal were 4-0 up and Newcastle came back to 4-4. I'm fairly sure Arsenal were 4-0 up and Newcastle... I'm sure it was Newcastle that came back, but either way, it finished 4-4 when one team was 4-0 up. So it's not out of the question that Leipzig could come back and win this. But if we do keep it as it is, then it's a great goal difference for us and a great boost going into that game against Man City. And actually, having this advantage could lead us to make a few substitutions of key players just to rest them for that game back in Manchester. I think is it Anfield or Manchester? I can't quite remember. But anyway, for back in England in a few days' time. But lovely ball, lovely flowing football. And we've got Wijnaldum, who's really been the creator of all this chance. Fabinho, back to Henderson. Fabinho. Wijnaldum's in perfect space, but for some reason they can't pass to him. There we go. Wijnaldum back to Henderson. Lovely pass completion rate, but it's not getting us anywhere. Fabinho, good forward ball through to Salah. This could be opportunity. Into Shaqiri. Oh, unlucky for Shaqiri there. Apologies for my messenger going off there. I should have really turned my iPad to charge. I'm not going all the way over there. But we will make a few changes. We'll bring Gomez on for Van Dijk, who seems especially tired. We'll just sort it by condition. Now, it's going to be the most important game for that game against Man City. I think that probably Wijnaldum will be, because we'll bring Lallana on for him and change the formation to suit him. And Firmino is also quite important. So who else will we bring on? We'll bring Sturridge on. That's probably shocked you a bit, hasn't it? It seems a bit daft to bring Fabinho. Fabinho? What's Fabinho got to do with any of this? Seems a bit daft to bring Balotelli on at this point, because at the end of the day, he's not really got anything to prove. We'll put you back to wing back defend, and also put Alisson back to just being a normal goalkeeper. I do feel like we probably need to defend a little bit at this point, just to make sure we keep in the game. But we will go up to attacking, because I do feel like with a few more defensive men, we can risk the attacking mentality. But I'll tell you what, it was a good free kick from Forsberg, a bit low, and that could have been a bit of a mistake. But here we go, Galatsky with the goal kick. Potentially going for the attacking one is something we might rue and, well, hopefully forget that we've ever done if Leipzig come back and win this. But I can't imagine they will, but Bailey's got a chance. Forsberg into Gamero, and they now have one back, which is interesting. I don't think they'll bring it back to 3-3, but as I've said, stranger things have happened. But hopefully that's just a blip and we don't concede another one. I don't know whether we go to attacking or cautious, because at this point I feel like whatever we do, we've got pressure on us. But if it goes to 3-2, then we've got to start attacking, unfortunately. But possibly this could be the end. Augustin, lovely shot, but it's just over the bar. I thought that'd be a lovely, powerful shot right into the back of the net. But Cavani's made it 2-0 for the French team, Paris Saint-Germain. But Leipzig have got another corner now, in from Forsberg, but Gomez gets it out for now. But Bruma's in the box. Bruma into Mir. Actually, Mir gets it out. Good lad. Shaqiri, can we get this one up now? We can, to Sturridge. Sturridge on the wing. Not really where he should be, but it doesn't particularly matter if they switch positions. Sturridge makes the cross into Salah, shoots, and what a finish that is. I do think that it was more of a goalkeeper fumble than anything else, though, because, well, as you could see, I think it was a deflection off the goalkeeper. It wasn't going particularly into the net. And the goalkeeper should have got that one, but he didn't. And luckily for us, we've made it 4-1. A very strong game in our first game of the Champions League. Obviously, the only discrepancy, yeah, it went off the post, but it came off Galatsky and rebounded straight into the goal. Really, it's a great start to the Champions League. The only criticism would possibly be that goal that we've conceded, but you can't have everything in these matches. But Salah on the ball again. He might get his hat-trick, but Galatsky saves it. Apparently, Salah's putting on a real display, and that's brilliant. Of course, Salah linked with leaving the club in the summer, as well as Mane, who, if you didn't watch the first episode, did leave the club for £100 million in the summer. But Salah, I think, will go at some point. If he keeps playing like he is now anyway, he'll command a massive fee. But I don't think any player's indispensable, personally. I think that, you know, if we got rid of Salah, it wouldn't be the end of the world. He's a very good player, but if someone come in with a 150 million, 200 million bid, then I'd let him go, because I don't think that any player's indispensable. I mean, Salah's a very good player. He's probably more indispensable in real life, I'd say. But on the game, there's replacements for him. There's a very good attacking unit of this team outside of Mo Salah. And I'm quite confident, as I just said, if he left the club, we could either sign an apt replacement for a lot less than he was going for, I'd be sure. Or, you know, just potentially just stick with the players we've got. But Lanzini's through on goal, and lovely save from Alisson there. And there was a big scramble amongst our defenders, it seemed, there to try and stop Lanzini, who, of course, played for West Ham, I presume, before moving to Leipzig. But it looks like it's going to filter out. They might get one back, but apart from that, I think it's pretty much going to be it. Of course, we made all our substitutions earlier. So all we can do now is sit back and watch, and hopefully we'll close this game out. Shaqiri with a late free kick, and it's in the back of the net. What a free kick that is from Xherdan Shaqiri. We've made it 5-1, and that all but adds to our brilliant display here against Leipzig. Fantastic stuff, but we were 2-0 up within 25 minutes, really set the precedent for a fantastic game. That's a lovely free kick from Shaqiri. I don't think that quite the Leipzig goalkeeper's been up to the task today, but saying that they've had 19 shots, and of the 7 on target, you stopped 2. So, you know, it's not the end of the world for them, but not the best start for Leipzig in the Champions League. But a perfect start for us, and now we'll go to our next 2 games against PSG and Valencia with real confidence. And I think if we can get points out of those 2 games, then we should be fine. If we can get a draw against PSG and beat Valencia, I mean, if we can get 2 draws out of PSG, home and away, we will go through this group, I'm fairly sure. And it'd be even better if we went through the group as winners, just to make sure we completely forget the disaster of last year where we didn't qualify for the next round. But a brilliant match. We had 20 shots all in all, 10 of them on target. But now we're going to go to Man City. And I'd say that'd probably be a stronger challenge, but if it's the same result that it was here, bring it on. Just a quick thing I didn't notice. I did say that PSG were pretty much home and dry at 2-0, but it seems that Valencia came back with a very late equaliser. Well, it was only 85 minutes in, but that really must have shocked PSG, and as a result, we're top of the group, not just by goal difference, but by 2 points, which adds to how brilliant that result really was. Who else would it be starting up front against Man City? Mario Balotelli's back in the squad to start against Man City. We've only made 2 changes. Milner comes in for a tired, whoever it was playing there, Fabinho, and Balotelli comes in, of course, for the man, Roberto Firmino. Now, it could be a bit of a dangerous one, bringing Balotelli in, but I just feel like he's got the sort of mentality to do very well in this sort of game against City. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to change our tactic to being a bit more cautious because, to be fair, City are a very attacking team. They're a little bit like us, and with us playing with less possession at the moment, I feel like that counter-attacking tactic really suits us against the big team. You'll notice, potentially, on the tactics screen, I've got rid of that silly second tactic with that defensive midfielder because it just didn't work. We couldn't score goals. We defended all right, which I guess was what the tactic tried to do, but we couldn't score goals, so I just didn't see the point of keeping it. But, of course, Mario Balotelli's back at a former club, and if we can keep up our unbeaten run today, we will surpass Man City's start and just be second to just Arsenal. And as I said last season, Arsenal had a really bad campaign. They finished outside the top 10, and I knew they'd be back this season. They certainly are with 6 wins out of 6 in their first games, and they haven't conceded a single goal yet. So it'll be very interesting going up against them when we play them in the near future. I don't quite know when we play them, but still. The Premier League looks a lot more consistent this year in terms of the teams. The top 6 are there in the top 6 at the moment. They've all had very good starts. And apart from Manchester United, they are all unbeaten. I wouldn't particularly like a draw today, but I would take a draw against City as opposed to a defeat, always, obviously. But I reckon City have got the measure of us here. Sane has a shot and Alisson gets it. A bit of a mistake from Shaqiri that was. And as you can see, City are really dominating us. And potentially we might have to go attacking just to get our feet back into the game, because we might be inviting pressure on us by being too defensive. Dybala there with a shot and doesn't really make anything of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go attacking for the rest of the half and just demand more from the players. Because to be quite honest, not to have a shot in the first half an hour, you're not really going to do anything. So you may as well, if you like, die trying in terms of trying to get a goal against City, because unless it ends 0-0, obviously if we don't score, we don't get any points. And I'm fairly sure City won't not score. Won't not. That's just a double negative, which never makes any sense. A tight Achilles for Shaqiri, so we'll have to bring him off at half-time. Gnabry's on the bench, though, luckily, so we can change him round. And we'll just tell the lads we're not doing too badly. We're not, because City have absolutely dominated, and we've stood firm against them. But I reckon bringing someone like Gnabry on could do really well for us. We're going to change you to a complete forward, because he's got the strength of a target man, but he's got the power of that poacher. So that might be interesting to see whether he can change to that. We'll get the players, we'll demand more from the players, because that shout always seems to work. The players are always very focused. But hopefully we can get a chance within the first 5 minutes of this half. Watch this space though, Wijnaldum. Back out to Moreno. We could actually get our first shot on target. Well, our first shot altogether here now. Henderson back out to Moreno. Good to see a bit of attacking. Moreno into the box for Salah. Not quite Gnabry. Will he put it back in? Gnabry to James Milner to Balotelli. Goal! I thought Balotelli was going to get the goal there. A bit of a deflection off Milner to Balotelli, albeit. Did it go in the net? No, not all the ball passed. So just there, it didn't pass. But it was very close, granted, to going past Ederson and him conceding his first goal for a while. But it'd be quite ironic if this one ended 0-0. I always thought that about the game in real life because, you know, the two most scoring teams in the Premier League cancelled each other out. Will the same happen here? Salah's running through. Don't be greedy. He has a shot, though. It nearly goes past Ederson, but that was a little bit greedy there. He could have played in his wing partner in terms of Gnabry, but that wasn't quite good enough. We're going to make another substitution here. We'll bring Wijnaldum off for... Can Chamberlain play as a centre mid now? I don't quite get what the role of Chamberlain is. Can he play there? Yeah, he can, actually. So we'll put Chamberlain there. No, he's not going to be better as a central attacker mid. We'll just keep him there, and hopefully some more creative players in this squad could help us, but it's still a stalemate at the moment. A very good block from Milner now, putting possession back in our hands. Gnabry's now got the ball in the box. He runs for it. He shoots. It's just wide for Gnabry. A bit of a tight angle, but I guess Salah would have finished that off. So if the boot would have been on the other foot, I do think that Salah would have finished that off. Will the deadlock break here? Guerrero corner to John Stones just over the bar. The deadlock has got to break at some point. It's got to happen. The players are very inspired by that push to get more creative. We're going to ring Salah off because he's a bit tired, and we'll bring Firmino on for him. Oh, whoopsie daisy. But what we'll do, we'll change the formation to a 4-2-2-2 and push the wing-backs back a little bit, because even though there's one more man attacking, we can still risk our defenders being back, if you like. So we'll have you as a pressing forward. We'll put Chamberlain as a winger on attack, but we'll put Alexander-Arnold back to a wing-back on defend, just to make sure that all the roles are balanced, despite us bringing one more striker on. And hopefully that other striker will cause City a fair amount of problems. But if it ends 0-0 today, I'm not particularly displeased with that. But it would be a shame not to beat City at home. But we've still got a chance here. But saying that, with that change, that's possibly led to us losing against City here. Our first loss of the season would be a real shame. And it would mean we miss out on the achievement on FM that going unbeaten in 20. But that's not the biggest problem with this. If we lose a point at the end of the day. And every point matters. And Patrick Roberts breaks the deadlock for City. I knew that was going to happen at some point. It was just a question of when and not if they would break the deadlock. But we've still got 10 minutes left. We can get back into this game. I'm going to get a few team instructions on just to be as direct as possible. Dribble less. In transition, get it to the opposition defence. That all looks good to me. Distribute quickly. Use the offside trap as well. Can we get back into this game? Admittedly, we've had a hell of a lot of lost possession. They've had 68%. Can we get back into it? Moreno to Henderson. We should have really just put it in the mixer. Just try it rather than losing the ball to City, which is inevitably going to happen at some point. And it does. Mia to Walker to Decore. I knew it was going to happen at some point. He should have just tried it in the box and had the opportunity there and then. But Roberts through to Dybala. Come on, Van Dijk. You should be getting to that one. Dybala runs through. But Alisson, it's safe hands from our Brazilian goalkeeper. But will we get another chance like we've just had? I do wonder. 5 minutes to go. Can we keep our unbeaten record by getting a goal late on? It doesn't look like we are. It doesn't look like we will do. Come on. 2 minutes to go. We've never really been in this game, to be honest. Maybe going cautious with us was a mistake. But we'll never know till the end of the game. Lovely ball from Alexander-Arnold. Through to Chamberlain. Chamberlain into the box for Firmino. He shoots it in! Firmino gets a goal back. And that is going to be a point going to Liverpool. And a point to Man City. And that means that we retain our unbeaten streak. And also get a point out of last season's title winners, Man City. Alexander-Arnold made that goal. A lovely ball from Chamberlain. Chamberlain put it in the box, and Firmino, all he had to do was finish it, and Ederson's been beaten, and it's 1-1. That's a good, brilliant goal, and that saved us from being a little bit embarrassed at the end of that game. Arguably, we should never have been in that game. 31% possession. We should never have been in that, but it's not all over yet. Milner to Henderson. Henderson, that's a bit unfortunate. Patrick Roberts, all right, blow the whistle now, ref. I was quite happy for you to extend the game as much as possible early, but you can blow the whistle now. Roberts, oh God. Walker, it's gone out. I think we're all right. That's a throw-in. Is that going to be it? Moreno, and that's it. That's the full-time whistle. And yeah, that's a good pre-match, post-match talking point. Would Gnabry have won it for us, though? I do wonder. It was only 1 of 6 chances, but to be fair, there is no way that we should have been in that game. But if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe. This is your first Football Manager 29 video of mine you have watched. But until the next time, folks, which of course will be tomorrow, as is every day, because it's a daily series at 6 PM. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.